Good afternoon, everyone. So in the last session, what we discussed was entrepreneurial culture. How do we develop an entrepreneurial culture? In that, we discussed first of all what is a definition of entrepreneurial culture. What is called as entrepreneurial culture? So a society that enhances the exhibition of attributes, values, beliefs, and behaviors that are related to entrepreneurship. That culture or that society can be called as a entrepreneurial culture. In that, we discussed various aspects related to entrepreneurship culture, and also we discussed the three levels of entrepreneurial culture: the invisible level, which is characterized by entrepreneurial attributes and entrepreneurial values; the second level, that is semi visible level, which is characterized by the entrepreneurial mindset; and third level, wherein the entrepreneurial behavior can be seen as output. So that is a level number 3, visible level. So that much we discussed in the last session, and today we will have to discuss about the various constraints for the growth of entrepreneurial culture. So what are the different difficulties which come across the growth of entrepreneurial culture, that we will have to discuss today. There are different studies which were conducted, and different researchers who has conducted these studies, the research, they have discussed the different constraints, or we can call it as a difficulties or obstacles for the growth of entrepreneurial culture. So there were studies which were conducted in Orissa, and this study revealed that more than 50% of the respondents, they feel that entrepreneurship is a risky career. So more than 50% respondents, they feel that entrepreneurship is something risky career, and therefore majority of the this youth, they avoid to take up this entrepreneurship as a career. Another aspect, like social risk and stigma. Stigma means the labeling which is given, or labeling which is being pursued by the society. So different social risk and stigma associated with failure. So many of the people, they have a mindset, or they have perception about entrepreneurship, that many of the enterprises or many of the ventures, they have high rate of failure. And this social risk and stigma, that is the labeling which is given to this entrepreneurship, that is a demotivating factor to many of the youth in these surveys. Then there is another study which was conducted across India, that stated that 50% of the entrepreneurs, they do not want to have an entrepreneur life partner. While choosing a life partner, 50% of the entrepreneur, they state that they do not want an entrepreneurial life partner. They want a life partner who is either working or is working in a organization, or he is not at working at home. So many of the people, or many of the entrepreneurs, they felt that they do not want to have a life partner who is also into entrepreneurship. Very few people or respondents, they felt that entrepreneurs have a good family life. 43% respondents feel that entrepreneurship has a good family life. Majority of the people, that is 57% of the people, they feel that entrepreneurs do not have a good family life. They do not get time to devote to their family life. Then another perception of the people to have jobs, multinational company job or government job. These people, majority of the youth, they have ranked MNC job and government jobs higher than the entrepreneurial venture. That means they feel that entrepreneurship is secondary uh, secondary career they will have. Their primary objective or their primary aim will is to have MNC jobs or government jobs. If they do not have this type of government job or MNC jobs, the secondary preference of these people will be to have a entrepreneurship culture. So their main preference was towards MNC jobs and government jobs. So in India, you will see that this predominant risk-averse society. Risk-averse society means averse means avoidance or dislike towards something. So in majority of the societies in our country, you will see that this perception is predominant. The attitude towards entrepreneurship is like risk or failures are there. So many of the people, majority of the people, they try to avoid entrepreneurship as a career. So these are few constraints for the growth of entrepreneurial culture. These are few perceptions, attitudes, certain factors which are present in the society which affects the growth of entrepreneurial culture. Is it clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
Going ahead, we'll discuss about developing an entrepreneurial culture in an organization. How we can create an entrepreneurial culture in an organization. We'll see that how this culture can be developed. Entrepreneurial culture, having it in an enterprise can create a competitive advantage. So therefore, many of the organizations, they want to inculcate this type of entrepreneurial culture in their organization. Developing an entrepreneurial culture in an organization, that means that empowering all the employees to work as entrepreneurs, developing the entrepreneurial qualities of employees so that every employee work like an entrepreneur, taking the responsibility, uh, taking out his entrepreneurial qualities, his innovative thoughts, implementing the new methods, taking quality decisions. So all these entrepreneurial qualities need to be inculcated into the employees. This concept of inculcating all these qualities, characteristics of entrepreneurs into the employees can be called as a entrepreneurial culture within an organization. So this entrepreneurial word now has a broad sense. It is not restricted to a person who does some innovation and brings his innovative product or service in a market. However, this entrepreneur now has a broad sense and it describes a skill set and mindset. So it is a skill set and mindset of a person characterized by innovation, creativity, and calculated risk taking and empowered staff. So anybody can have this quality of entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurial, that is a quality. It is a skill set or mindset of people even when working in an organization. So these characteristics can be innovation, creativity, calculated risk taking, and empowered nature or empowered staff taking their quality decisions in various situations. This entrepreneurial culture in an organization need to be culture. It doesn't get developed on its own. That need to be nurtured by careful attention by providing different authorities, by providing infrastructure, by providing environment which is conducive for this entrepreneurial culture development. Going ahead, these are few points wherein we will understand how this entrepreneurial culture can be developed in an organization. So to develop this entrepreneurial culture in an organization, the first important thing is leading the entrepreneurial culture. Leading the entrepreneurial culture, that means providing leadership who can provide the insights, provide the direction to the employees, and which can create an atmosphere within an organization which is conducive for entrepreneurial mindset creation. So if there is a good leader, the employees are always imitating, they are always following their leaders. Employees always like to follow their leaders, how their leaders behave, how their leaders take decision, how their leaders plan, how they execute. So everything what the leaders do, the employees are always imitating their leaders, and therefore leading an entrepreneur culture, providing leadership which can inculcate these entrepreneurial thoughts is very important. So these leaders, by their behavior, by their actions, they can stimulate entrepreneurial culture in an organization. So that is the first thing which we can do. The second thing is creating an environment of empowerment. Empowerment means giving authorities uh, uh, or delegating some of the responsibilities or authorities to the people so they feel empowered. So they also get some powers. So this empowerment is related to taking some decisions at their levels. So these employees need to be empowered by certain authorities along with few responsibilities. And then there should be an environment wherein they should be given liberty to take certain decisions, certain innovations or ideas when they want to implement. They need to be given authorities, need to be given freedom to act whatever new things, new methods they want to implement. So those empowerment of people need to be done by giving freedom to the employee, so that that can generate or that can stimulate the entrepreneurial thoughts in the employees. So that is the second thing which we can do. The third thing which uh, is necessary for developing an entrepreneurial culture in an organization is communication. So communication is a very important part of any organization. To create an entrepreneurial culture, there need to be a good communication. The communication in the sense that communication should be free, that communication channels need to be open, that every employee should be able to communicate with each other openly, freely. There should be good communication between the top management and employees, from top down to as well as down up. Communication need to be there, and the employees should be given freedom to communicate their own ideas, their own thoughts about newer methods, newer products, or newer services. Whatever new things comes there in their minds, they need to be set free to communicate about their innovations, their innovative thoughts to the others, to other employees as well as to the top management. Top management also need to communicate the vision, their uh, thoughts or their direction towards developing an entrepreneurial culture to the employees more often, so that that habit of thinking about how the innovation can be brought in different products, services, different methods, that will get inculcated in the employees. So that is just another thing which you can do. Then value the entrepreneurial approach. So if the employees have entrepreneurial qualities, entrepreneurial approach while doing their jobs, this entrepreneurial approach, their entrepreneurial behavior need to be valued in an organization. These entrepreneurial thoughts or innovations or innovative ideas which they are communicating or they are trying to implement, that need to be given rewards, that need to be appreciated by the management, so that that culture of entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial culture can be cultivated in an organization. So valuing the entrepreneurial approach. And one more thing is continuous effort. A continuous effort is very, very important in developing an entrepreneurial culture. It is not a one-time task of creation. So but it is a continuous effort through communication, through providing direction, through providing training, through giving freedom, through listening their ideas, by giving rewards, appreciating their ideas. So this need to be a continuous effort from the organization side to the employees. And that continuous effort can bring in entrepreneurial culture in an organization. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Any query
Yes, sir.
related to what we discussed till now? Any query?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Then we'll move ahead and discuss the various factors that affect the entrepreneurial growth. So what are the different factors that affect the entrepreneurial growth that we need to discuss? Different factors may be divided into two important categories. One is economic factor, another is non-economic factors. In economic factors, we'll see that there are four important factors: capital, labor, raw material, and the market. In non-economic factors, there are social factors as well as psychological factors. In social factors, we have family background, education, attitude of the society, and in psychological factors, there are factors like need achievement and withdrawal of status respect. So these are various economic as well as non-economic factors which are affecting the entrepreneurial growth. This factor we'll discuss in the details. The first important economic factor is the capital. In factors affecting entrepreneurial growth under economic factors, we have the first important factor affecting the entrepreneurial growth is the capital. So capital is very important for starting any enterprise. Any enterprise or any such entrepreneurial activity requires a sufficient capital, without which starting an enterprise is very difficult. If this entrepreneurship gets easy availability of funds for investment, then that gets a boost for entrepreneurial activity. Without a capital, it is very difficult to start any enterprise or any entrepreneurial activity. If an entrepreneur has sufficient capital, he can collect the raw material, the land, the machinery, the labor. He can then combine all these to start a productive activity or his enterprise. And therefore capital can be considered as a facilitator or lubricant in the process of this production. Therefore capital is one of the important economic factors which affects the entrepreneurial growth. Second factor under economic factor is your labor. The labor which is required for an enterprise is also a very important factor which affects the entrepreneurial growth. In many industries you will see that the labor turnover or insufficiency of labor, that are major factors which are affecting the growth of that enterprise. Therefore quality of the quality of the labor is very important than quantity of the labor. You may have a good quantity of the labor, but that labor should have qualities. The labor should be of quality, having good skills, expertise, so that it can contribute towards the growth of the entrepreneurship. So the quality rather than quantity of the labor is important. Then there can be certain other issues related to labor like immobility. There may be mobility issues. Mobility means movement of people from one place to another place. So the problem of labor may be due to the mobility issues from one place to another place. But these problems of immobility can be solved by providing proper infrastructure or proper transportation to the people. So that is the second factor, that is the labor. Then the third economic factor, which is a raw material. Raw material which is required for production or for any entrepreneurial activity, that is very, very important. And this raw material is a basic ingredient for production. Without a raw material, it is not possible to start production, because for production activity raw material will be required, and therefore to have suppliers, sources of raw materials which can provide you quality raw material as per the quantity required, as per the time required, that is very, very important for a good flow of production activity. Then another factor in economic factors that affect the entrepreneurial growth is your market. So market is very important for any entrepreneurial activity. Before you start any activity related to production of any innovative product or service, first of all the entrepreneur should have sufficient knowledge about the market, as well as the different marketing activities or different marketing techniques of how that product can be marketed. Along with the knowledge of this marketing concepts and marketing activities, this entrepreneur should understand the market. Market means all those customers who will be the customers for the product or service. So these customers need to be well known, or the entrepreneur need to undertake certain research to understand the market. What is the potential of the market? That need to be understood. Whether whatever product or service, whatever innovative product the service may be, whether there is need from the market, whether the customers require that product. Even if the product may be innovative, but if the customer doesn't need it, there will not be any potential for that product in that market. Therefore, understanding the potential of the product or service in the market is also very, very important. There need to be market or potential in the market for that particular product or service. So that is also economic factor which affect the entrepreneurial growth. Then we'll go to the different social
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello.
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 Technical glitch.
We can't hear you, sir. Hello.
Sir disconnected झाले.
पता है. Hello.
सर आवाज वाव नाइस थिंग खतरनाक
मम्मी on echo.
Join again.
हेलो सर
जैसे टोनी के उनकी कड़ी लगी.
Sir नहीं है विनोद.
ये मैं हूँ. ये ऑनलाइन और ये टेक्निकल.
हेलो सिमरन सर को बात करो ना यार क्या हो गया इशू
Join करो. Repeat.
Hello.
Achha, are you all there?
Hello.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
So there was power electricity problem at my side, but now as we have got connected, we'll continue. Just a second. Is the PPT visible to you all?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
So what we were discussing was about the economic factor, that is market. Then moving towards the various social factors. In social factors, the important factor is the family background. The family background of a person also affects the entrepreneurial growth or entrepreneurial mindset of a person. So a person who is living in what type of family, the background of that family has a good impact on the entrepreneurship growth, entrepreneurship mindset. You will observe that those people who have a good family background, they also have entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial thoughts of starting their own enterprise. So in family background, the size of the family the type of the family in which the person lives and economic status of that family, that affects the entrepreneurial growth. You will see that the background of a family, if a person has a business background, business family background, so he gets easy access to the know-how. Know-how means the knowledge, business knowledge. So since childhood, that person gets knowledge about that particular business. He gets easy access to the different methods, different sources of supply of raw material, or any different procedures which are required in that business. So that person gets well acquainted as well as has good access to all these things because of the background of business in his family. So this family background has a good impact on the entrepreneurial growth. The second social factor is the education. So education, the type of education system wherein that the people get education, that system is also important. The education enables one to understand the outside world and equip the person with basic knowledge and skills to deal with day-to-day problems. What type of education system the people are into, that decides whether they will be oriented towards having their own entrepreneurial venture, or they will move towards only getting a job. So the education system wherein the person gets education since childhood, that education system is also one of the factor which affects the entrepreneurial growth, the creation of entrepreneurship mindset. Then third factor under social factor is the attitude of the society. What is the attitude of the society? How the society perceives, what perception society has towards entrepreneurship, that also affect entrepreneurial growth. You will observe that there are certain societies wherein the engagement of people into entrepreneurship is encouraged, appreciated. Different innovations, innovative products, novelties are being accepted, appreciated, rewarded, and encouraged by the society. In that type of societies, the entrepreneurial culture is developed very fast, and that can give rise to number of more entrepreneurs. And in societies wherein the entrepreneurship or the innovations are not appreciated, there are certain societies wherein the change is not accepted, the changes are not liked by the people. So in that society you will see that the growth of entrepreneurs is very less. So how society pursues collectively towards entrepreneurship, that also affects the entrepreneurial growth. Then another factor which has impact is the psychological factors. Various psychological factors are there which affect entrepreneurial growth. In psychological factors, we have the first psychological factor, that is need achievement. So there are various researchers who have carried out certain research in this field to understand different factors affecting the mindset of the mindset of people to orient towards entrepreneurship. One of the prominent researcher is McClelland. He has his own theory which he has developed towards need achievement. What he says is that need achievement is social motive to excel that tends to characterize successful entrepreneurs, especially when reinforced by the cultural factors. Reinforced means strengthened by the cultural factors. So McClelland, what he importantly says is that to a person to become an entrepreneur, he has to have this type of quality or characteristic of need achievement. He should have passion towards achievement of certain need. And this need achievement quality can be strengthened by the culture wherein he is living. Different entrepreneurs he studied, and he found that this characteristic was a common characteristic in majority of the entrepreneurs. So almost all the entrepreneurs which he researched, he found that this is a prominent characteristic of every entrepreneur, the characteristic of need achievement. He found that there are differences in different societies. In various societies, he found that there are differences in terms of the number of entrepreneurs. He found that in some society there are more number of entrepreneurs, wherein in some societies there are very less number of entrepreneurs. And he attributed this difference of number of entrepreneurs in various societies to sociological factors. He says that it is due to the different sociological factors which affect the people to become an entrepreneur. Then he says that people with high need achievement are distinctive in nature, distinctive in several ways. This nature of different people having need achievement characteristic and oriented towards starting their own enterprise, they have distinct characteristics. They have different distinctive qualities. That qualities can be innovation, trying to do something new every time, different new products, different new methods, different new strategies to do something new. These people are also associated with some qualities like taking risk, taking responsibilities, taking the accountabilities of their action, taking quality decisions. So all these are the different associated qualities he has mentioned in his research. And then further he says that need achievement is conditioned. Condition means learned or developed by social and cultural reinforcement rather than parental influence and such related factors. Need achievement is a certain orientation of the people or learned thought or conditioned, or it can be developed during the various stages of a person. A person gets influenced by various learnings or various lessons which he gets since childhood. In the childhood, a person gets some lessons or he come to learn from his parents. Later on, when he starts going to the school, his teachers, and then the society, all these have a combined effect on a person to orient himself towards entrepreneurship. This scientist McClelland, he has studied all these factors and he has concluded that need achievement characteristic or this orientation of a person towards entrepreneurship, this quality can be learned or can be developed more by social and cultural factors than any other factors. So the society, the culture wherein he is living, that has a very high impact than any other impact on entrepreneurship, as he has concluded. Is it understood to you all, this theory of McClelland? Is the theory of McClelland understood to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a second. So another psychological factor which is there that affects the entrepreneurial growth is withdrawal of status respect. Withdrawal of status respect. This is something new concept So withdrawal of status respect, what that means is that withdrawal of status or certain withdrawal of dignity or prestige of a person or group. If a person or a group loses his identity, his status, or his prestige due to any reason, that can be called as a withdrawal of status respect. So this withdrawal of status respect can also make a person to think or to start with his own enterprise. So this is the research which has been carried out by Everett Hagen. This is one researcher who has conducted the social research to understand why people start their own enterprise. And one of the findings he has got through his research is that he says that this is one of the factor, like withdrawal of status respect can generate entrepreneurs or can make a person to start his own own enterprise. So Everett Hagen, at some point of many social groups experience radical loss of status. What he says is that there are certain social groups who experience a radical loss of status. Radical means major loss of their status, their dignity, or their prestige. There may be different reasons for these groups to lose their identity, to lose their status, or to lose their dignity. So Everett Hagen says that by whatever reason, if there are certain groups, social groups, who have lost their identity, their status, their prestige, these groups, somewhere they start thinking to start their own enterprise rather than to search for any job in any organization. So in his study, he has postulated that which are these type of groups. So he has assumed that there may be certain groups, like there may be a group which might have displaced by force. So some group may have displaced or moved from one place to another place because of different reasons. The reason may be droughts, or the reason may be any natural calamity, or by any other reason or situation. If some group have migrated from one place to another place, that may not get expected prestige or respect in the new culture or new society. So that may be one of the group. There may be certain group whose values or symbols are denigrated, means their values, their principles of those groups are denigrated, means are criticized by the other society. Those groups can also think of starting their own enterprise. And there can be a drift into situation, means some group might have drifted or may moved into a situation of status inconsistency. Status inconsistency, that means there is no consistency in the status or respect. You will see there may be certain profession, for example, in certain profession, the profession might have been respected very well in the society. However, when it comes to the remuneration or what he gets out of that profession, it is very, very less. So in that sense, he is devalued. So there is a status inconsistency. On one hand, his profession is very much respected. On one hand, and on the other hand, he is not getting that much for his survival. So that is a status inconsistency. Because of this also, there may be certain groups which may orient themselves towards starting a new enterprise. And there can be other groups which are migrated from one place to another place, but they do not get the expected status after their movement into a new group or new society. They do not get acceptance by the new society, or they do not get expected status by the society. So such groups can think of creating their own venture or creating their own business. So this is a concept of withdrawal of status respect. So this is a research conducted by Everett Hagen, and in his research he has conducted a survey, he has observed different behaviors of groups and the people who start their own enterprise, and he has concluded in this research that these groups who loses their social status, there he has found that more tendency of people starting their own enterprise. Are you clear with this concept?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any queries in whatever we have discussed today? Anybody? Do not feel hesitated to ask any queries. Whatever queries you have, you can freely ask. Do you have any query related to what we have discussed? Priti, Simran?
No, sir.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll stop here for today.